Come on, don't act like you didn't see this review series coming. John Wick was released in 2014, directed by Chad Stahelski, starring Keanu Reeves, Willem Dafoe, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, and Michael Nyqvist. And yeah, with John Wick Chapter 4 coming out this weekend, obviously I'm going to revisit the first three movies leading up to its release because A, I'm highly excited for John Wick Chapter 4, and B, the John Wick franchise is just one of my favorite franchises of all time. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about it. So, let's go ahead and start with the film that started it all, starting off with the good. And obviously, this is an amazing movie, like all the way through. Absolutely amazing. Keanu Reeves stars as the title character, John Wick, who is a former assassin who has retired, gotten out of the life, and is drawn back in due to some unfortunate circumstances. And I really love the way Keanu Reeves plays this character. And I am always going to defend Keanu Reeves and say that he is an amazing actor. I really don't get the whole mentality of he's a bad actor because I've never seen him as a bad actor, in my opinion. Anybody who thinks he's a bad actor is just delusional. But either way, he plays his character extremely well. And yes, I will say this is probably the best performance he's given in his career. This movie specifically, he just absolutely nails every emotion that John Wick is supposed to feel, and every bit of anger, rage, sadness, everything. Keanu Reeves just nails. I honestly cannot see anybody else in this role. As much as you try, you cannot name a better person to play John Wick than Keanu Reeves because he is absolutely synonymous with this character at this point. And then you have Willem Dafoe. And with how many new characters played by big name actors are introduced in the later films of this franchise, it's very easy to forget that Willem Dafoe was in this movie. And he does a really great job as well. He's got some limited screen time. He's not in it a whole bunch, but he still does a really good job. And I like his few scenes with Keanu Reeves. You feel the two characters' friendships. And by the end, when Willem Dafoe's character is killed off, you feel the hurt in John Wick's emotions when he finds his body. It's a really, really great scene. And then you have the main villain played by Michael Nyqvist. And this is an actor that, regrettably, I have not seen him in a lot of things, but he absolutely nails it as the villain in this movie. The character of Vigo, who is a Russian mob boss who is trying to protect his son from John Wick by putting a hit out on him. And he absolutely nails it as well. I really love the way he plays the character. He's very ruthless, but he's also got a soft spot for his son. As much as his son is an idiot, and he admits that his son is an idiot, he still loves him. He still wants to protect him. And the scenes between him and Keanu Reeves, absolutely terrific. Grade A chemistry between them. Really kind of wish that we could see Vigo more in these films, but they killed off Vigo at the end of this movie. And unfortunately, Michael Nyqvist did pass away back in 2017, which is very sad, but he did a really great job. And then you have two characters that are really just kind of there in this movie, but get way more to do in future movies. And the first one is the character of Winston, played by Ian McShane. And he is terrific as this character. And he only has like 2 or 3 scenes, but it establishes the type of character that he is. And Ian McShane, obviously in Ian McShane fashion, gives a grade A performance. Ian McShane is just a very underrated actor. He's very underutilized, I feel like. And I really liked his scenes with John Wick. with his scenes with Keanu Reeves. It felt like a natural sort of father-son bond, well, father figure, son figure bond. I really like their scenes. And then you have the hotel concierge, played by Lance Reddick, who has recently passed away, which is very sad because Lance Reddick is a very also underrated actor. And this character does get a name in future movies. His character's name is Sharon. And he, first of all, goes unnamed in this movie. He's just credited as hotel concierge. Second of all, he really doesn't do a whole bunch in this movie. He gets way more to do in Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. Maybe Chapter 4. I don't know. It's not out yet. I have not seen it yet. But he really just gives some, basic hotel concierge dialogue. But in Lance Reddick fashion, he absolutely nails it, and he does a great job. And I'm really excited to talk about his role in future movies, especially Chapter 3. But that's outside the acting. The story here, absolutely terrific. And it's easy to forget at this point with how beloved the John Wick franchise and how big it's become. It's easy to forget that this movie came out of nowhere when it was first released in 2014. It was released in the theaters, barely any marketing whatsoever. It was just kind of dumped during a weekend in, I think it was a February release. I don't remember. But it was just kind of dumped there. Nobody had heard of it, but word of mouth got around fast. This movie became an overnight success almost instantly. And it's very easy to see why. It's a very simple movie about an ex-hitman who has lost a lot of things. His wife has recently passed, and he's gifted a puppy to help with the grieving process. But a few unfortunate events occur, and the dog is killed in a home invasion, which really sets him on this path of revenge to avenge the dog, really. And it's a really, really great story from there. It's very simple, and yes, a lot of people have joked about the whole dog motivation, but it's understandable. If you're an animal lover, you understand John Wick's motivation in this movie. And like I said, just really great how it all plays out by the end of the movie. And you get some really kick-ass action scenes. And that's what this franchise has become known for, is the action scenes. And it's easy to see why, because the action in this movie, top-notch. That nightclub shootout, absolutely amazing. But I also really want to point out the final fight between Vigo and John, where it's just a fist fight. Great fight scene. And I also feel like this movie ended on a really great note where it could have just been a one-off movie, but I'm really glad it spawned a franchise. Also, soundtrack and score, terrific. Editing, amazing. So, that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And what's bad about John Wick? Nothing. Nothing's bad about John Wick. On to the final thoughts. Yeah, this is still a masterpiece. Absolute cornerstone. One of the greatest action movies of all time. Spawned one of the greatest action franchises of all time. Also revitalized Keanu Reeves' career. John Wick is an action classic. It's going to be remembered for years to come, and I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my review for John Wick. Have you seen this movie? You more than likely have. But either way, if you have seen this movie, what did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.